Hey, this is the World Advice Channel. What I want to talk about today is why the left is right about gun control. Now, as everyone knows, gun control, especially in America, is a very intense issue and a very controversial issue. Okay? And you have people who see things one way, and you have people who see things another way, and so on and so forth. Okay? The truth of the matter, it's very divisive and very intense of a discussion, to be quite honest with you, okay? And when it comes to this particular topic, I want to discuss why the left wing is completely right on it, and the right wing is actually the ones who are not only wrong, but making the situation worse. Now, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of why the left is right about gun control, it simply comes down to the fact of the matter is that the left is not interested in taking away your guns, okay? That is simply a myth, okay? Especially when I get to the second point, you'll see clearly why that is a myth, okay? The left is not interested in taking away your guns, okay? The truth of the matter is the left doesn't have any interest. If anything, most of the left wing a lot of them are just as much for guns as a right wing, okay? The truth of the matter is everyone knows two main things, okay? First and foremost, we have a lot of dangerous people in the world, and secondly, we have a lot of dangerous animals in the world for that matter, okay? We are, the majority of us in the population, I'm certain, at least especially in America, are aware that you need to learn how to defend yourself. And obviously not everyone in the world is a kung fu master and so on and so forth. And truth be told, sometimes you need a very simple and efficient way to defend yourself. The idea that guns are going to be taken away by the left wing is simply a myth. The simple truth of the matter is what the left wants is it wants simply to make sure that not every and anyone is easily able to access having a firearm, okay? The truth of the matter is, a lot of people in the world, as I'm certainly aware, are not only stupid, but also evil, or either one of the two, okay? A lot of people in the world will have one really freaking bad argument with someone, for that matter, and will decide, okay, I had a really bad argument with my husband or something, if it's a woman, or a man might simply be abusive, or even just simply have an issue with person for something that's stupid and relatively insignificant, and they'll simply get angry about it, and they'll say, okay, I want to get a gun now, okay? The truth of the matter is, that is the truth about guns, okay? It makes it very efficient to kill people, truth be told, okay? And a lot of people in the world are very emotional. When their emotions start acting up, they can't control themselves, for that matter, okay? And the thing about gun control is that it prevents everyone from easily accessing a gun. And most people who kind of get thoughts like that, it has been shown by science and history, for that matter, and so on and so forth, whatever, you get the point. It has been shown that most people who would do something like that and think in that type of way, in a few weeks' time, will change their mind, okay? Because of course their emotional distress will go down, and so on and so forth, and they will realize, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, okay? Whether they might have changed their mind even about the person they were thinking about doing that to over something relatively petty and stupid, or secondly, in the end of the day, they simply realize, okay, not only am I not distressed enough, it's simply kind of silly to kill someone because I can go to jail and so on and so forth, okay? Most people who tend to do things like that in a few weeks will change their mind, okay? And will make up their mind and move on from the situation, truth be told, okay? And with the way gun control works, if you make it possible that takes a few weeks to purchase a firearm, in that time frame, obviously, of a few weeks it takes to be able to get a firearm, most people who think in that way will change their mind, okay, for that matter, okay? So it not only does it prevent every and anyone from doing it, even if they had the intent to do it, they're going to end up changing their mind, okay? As I'm certain you're aware, especially if you're American yourself, for that matter, I am certain you are aware there's a lot of people in the world who do not use their brain at all, who do not use their intelligence at all for that matter. They just do things and they don't really think about the consequences after it. Okay, I'm certain if you've been in America enough, I'm gonna keep it real, dog. I might not be American, but I've seen some wild shit happen when I've been in there. The few times I've been in there, you know, and for the short while I was there. Okay, we live in a society where people are already willing to like put their lives on the line simply because they didn't get their food when they wanted it. Okay, you really think it's any different in the case of if they have an actual serious situation with someone? Okay, so that's the truth of the matter. That's what gun control prevents. It prevents every and anyone from getting access to it, and it creates a situation where it creates enough time for those people to move on from the situation. Because we can't live in a world where everyone gets access to guns easily. Something is going to happen. It's common sense, for that matter. And the truth of the matter is, that's what the left wing have been fighting for the longest time. Okay, what firearms are too easy to use, it's very efficient to use. It might take a little bit of practice, but the truth of the matter is it's still efficient enough that anyone can hit someone if they're at a very close angle, even someone who's never really used a gun before, okay, for that matter. Not to mention, the truth of the matter is if you obviously have a weapon that has a lot of bullets and can shoot a lot at a fast range, it also increases the likelihood that if someone, it might even be naturally a bad shooter, a really bad shooter because they just got started shooting, they're going to hit someone. And what about all the people who obviously, you know, might be in a vicinity who don't even have anything to do with the situation? They're going to get hit too. So that's the biggest problem with this whole idea, let's make guns as easily accessible as possible. It just simply doesn't work. And that's the truth of the matter, is no matter how you look at it. And the second reason why the left is right about the gun control issue is simply down to the fact of the matter that most of the outrage towards guns and the people talking about banning guns and so on and so forth are an example of radicalization, okay? And the truth of the matter about people becoming radicalized, these are people who are clearly very unhappy, disenfranchised people and so on and so forth, who are radicalized by the situation for that matter, and feel that taking extreme measures is going to make the situation better, okay? And a lot of them, for that matter, because of the state they're in, are thinking irrationally, which if they were under regular circumstances wouldn't even be thinking the way that they're thinking, for that matter, okay? The truth of the matter is, that is what happens when people become radicalized. And America has a lot of shootings, for that matter, okay? All the time. It's now, I remember when I was growing up, like, in, like, 2007 and 2008 and stuff, hearing somebody 5 people get shot was big news, okay? Nowadays, 5 people get shot, even if they die, that's, like, news for, like, a day, okay? In the past, it would have been, like, a news for, like, a week at least, okay? America has a mass shooting problem. There's a lot of people who go around shooting and killing people all the time now. So much so that most Americans, from what I have heard, actually been in the vicinity of a situation when a mass shooting has happened. Most actually have been around an area. Now, of course, they might not have been directly around it, but they're close enough in one way, shape, or form that they were told, maybe if anything, to stay away from the situation, for that matter, because they know something went down here, and it's best just not to go out here, okay? That is what I know about it. And not even just that, most Americans live in fear of being caught up in a mass shooting, for that matter, okay? That is the truth about modern day America. Most Americans live in fear of being shot in a mass shooting. It's so bad now they even have drills in literally just about all schools in America because of this issue, okay? So, and the reason, and that's the truth of the matter. And a lot of this is happening is because the right wing have not changed their tone when it comes to this particular situation. And this is why people think the way they do when it comes to banning guns. It has happened too often. It keeps on happening, and they just haven't stopped doing it. And that's the reason why it's the right wing's fault. Because I want to ask you a question, okay? When it comes to the situation, decades ago, before mass shootings were happening, how many Americans would you have heard say we should ban guns? Think about it for that matter, okay? Most wouldn't have said that. The reason why this is happening is because they haven't changed the situation at all. They simply didn't believe in regulations. And for that reason, the situation has continued to gotten bad and has created radicalization. So, in short, it's a right wing's fault for a lot of the situations that are going on now. It's their own fault why there's people who want to ban guns. Do I believe the guns should be banned? No, absolutely not. But a lot of the people who think the way they do are thinking that way because of all these mass shootings. So, in short, it's their fault, and the left is actually right about it. So, anyway, this is my video. If you like this video, remember to sum this video up in the subscribe button. And this is all to say. I hope this informed you. And simply put it, later.